boys and girls. Today I'd like to read one of my favorite books called the Snatchabook, Who's Stealing All the Stories? And this is written by Helen and Thomas Docherty, which we have several books in our collection by these authors. I want to read this one to you. One dark, dark night in Burrow Down, a rabbit named Eliza Brown found a book and settled down, which I hope a lot of you are doing now, when a Snatchabook flew into town. In every house, in every bed, a bedtime book was being read. Tales of dragons spitting flames, witches playing spooky games, pirates on the seven seas, princesses trying to sleep on peas, and every child in every bed listened hard to each word said. Eliza Brown at number 3 was reading quite contently. Her curtains opened just a chink. She barely had a chance to blink. Her storybook just disappeared. Eliza found that very weird. She reminds me of somebody in another book. I bet you might know who that is. Little Red Riding Hood, maybe? The little owls on Mommy's lap were quite surprised to hear a tap against their bedroom window glass. Tap, tap. The noise came really fast. Before they even looked around, the book was gone, without a sound. The wind blew wild across the sky. The smallest squirrel heard a cry. "What's that?" she whispered to her dad. But then, and this was really bad, before they had a chance to look, she lost her very favorite book. Can anybody see the little Snatchabook in the picture? There it is. And so it went, night after night. Books disappeared from left and right. 5 books here and 6 books there. The shelves began to look quite bare. In Burrow Down the rumor spread of book thieves under every bed. Eliza Brown at number 3 was keen to solve the mystery. She planned one night to lie in wait and use a pile of books as bait. Long hours passed without a peep. She'd nearly fallen fast asleep. And suddenly, Eliza heard a flap of wings. A bat? A bird? Eliza saw a shadow loom, enormous, right across her room. What kind of monster could it be? Eliza thought, "You don't scare me." And yet her heart was beating fast. She'd have to face the thief at last. She threw the window open wide and shouted to the thing outside, "Stop stealing all our books right now! Just give them back, I don't care how." Can you find the little Snatchabook? There he is. "I'm sorry," came a little voice. "I really am. I had no choice." Eliza looked down in surprise. She couldn't quite believe her eyes. "So who are you? And what's your name?" The creature hung its head in shame. He mumbled with a mournful look, I'm just a little Snatchabook."
Jill, listen, could you call the office, please? Jill, please call the office.
That was Miss Karen. Eliza nodded solemnly. She sat the creature on her knee. "You can't just come and help yourself to every book on every shelf." A tear rolled from the creature's eye, and softly he began to cry. "I know it's wrong, but can't you see? I've got no one to read to me." Eliza sighed. He looked so sad. If he just had a mom or a dad or an aunt or an uncle or a big brother or sister to read him stories every night, well, then he might behave all right. That very night, they hatched a plan. And so the Snatchabook began. Boys and girls, can you think of what they're going to do? I bet you some of you right now are raising your hand and telling me what you think they're going to do. To give back all the books he picked, I bet you guessed that. Eliza Brown was very strict. Then, trying hard to prove himself, he stacked them neatly on each shelf. And when he made his full amends, Eliza called on all her friends and told them how he worked all night to turn a wrong into a right. So sometimes if we do make a mistake, we can make it right. And now each night in Burrow Down, as darkness falls upon the town, in every house, in every bed, a bedtime book is being read. And if you take a closer look, you might just see the Snatchabook, perched happily on someone's bed, listening hard to each word said. Have a nice day, boys and girls.